All right, so this is the first time I'm ever making one of these videos, but I thought it might be a really cool idea to kind of make a video and show, the process and my thought process for, getting it done. So this is my finished product here. It's a Trillium flower made of Wormy Maple. So this is the starting piece, Wormy Maple. And the base is Walnut. This was the starting piece here. So the whole video will show you everything I did. So hope you enjoy. I'm gonna try to clean up the shape a little bit. So I'm throwing the chop saw and make a couple cuts. Now I'm gonna go with the jigsaw and see if I get the shape down here to what I'm looking for. So I'm using a little paint stirrer to clamp down the wood to the table, just so that the clamp doesn't press into the wood and screw up the surface at all. All right, so it's a little rougher on the edges right now, but I'm gonna get the chisel, clean up all this. All right, but that's a rough shape. Yeah. So good morning. It's a rainy Saturday, so I'm gonna spend basically all day in here. I had a couple hours last night to work on it. But yeah, so I'm gonna pick up right where I left off. So one of the reasons I chose this wood is because there's beautiful coloring. I have a little frame around it so it doesn't spin, so I can work the router on it without having to worry about the piece moving. All right, so it's day 3 work on this project, and after a lot of contemplation, I've decided I'm using the plunger. I'm gonna sink down the leaves about a 1/16 of an inch. Give it a little more detail, make it look a little nicer, I think. So we're gonna get right into that. This is what we got right after our routing work. All right, this is what we got so far. All right, so a wrap up on day 3. Leaves are done. This piece is basically done now. Gonna move on to the flower head probably next week once you leave, you know. But a lot of tedious detail work today. I'm gonna use the router to edge out the flower. I've been using the chisels and it's been real slow. And I'm basically doing the same thing the router's gonna do, so the router's gonna do a little more clean. So that's what I'm getting to now. That was a painful amount of sanding, but I finally got all the burn marks out from the Dremel, and this is what we're left with. So I'm gonna stop where we're at today. But what we're gonna do now is I'm basically gonna replicate this shape, the outside, the frame of it. On the other side, I'm gonna use the router to router out that. All right, hopefully I'm trying to get this piece off this wood now. All right, because right now it's all part of it. All right, so that was very intense, but it's out. Now I can work on removing all the background of everything, so I have just the flower. This is what we got. This is our finished, or rough sand finished Trillium flower head. Add the curves in the back, give it a little bit more depth. It was a new day. All right, so this is where we finished up last night, where we finished this piece here. I don't really like the way it sits on top of it, so I traced out the bottom on here, and I'm gonna sink this down so it kind of sits in a little bit more than just on top. I used the Dremel to dig out a little over here, and then this is played matchup. So I took off a little of this, took off a little here. Shit. We're good. And then fits. Oops. Like a glove. That's what we got. I just wanted to sink in a little bit just so the petals drop a little bit below the leaves, just like that. So it kind of folds up and over. But now I'm gonna get some oil it up, make sure the colors pop nice, and put it together. So I wasn't able to record my sealing process, but I used Danish oil, all right, which has not too much color. It just kind of makes it a little darker, a little more depth in it, and just seals it, protects it. It's a slight stain, but this is what we're left with. So I just drilled a hole in the back of this to hang it up with a nail or a screw or anything. It's a little bit of an angle, just so it doesn't slide off the wall. Which brings us to our last step, which is just to glue the flower onto the base. So that's what we're getting to now. Finish it up. And just like that, our piece is done. This is our finished product.